A third Trump lawyer pleaded guilty, while the Ian Fleming Airport in St. Mary will be open to international flights. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Former Trump campaign lawyer Jenna Ellis on Tuesday pleaded guilty in the Georgia election subversion case, the third guilty plea in the last week. At an unscheduled hearing in Atlanta, Miss Ellis pleaded guilty to one count of aiding and abetting false statements. She was sentenced to 5 years of probation and ordered to pay $5,000 in restitution. Miss Ellis bawled like a baby and delivered a tearful statement to the judge while pleading guilty, disavowing her participation in the attempts to overturn the 2020 election, saying that she was misled into believing that fraud had occurred in the election and she's so sorry. Trust me, she only sorry because she realized she could not beat the case and was looking at losing her law practice and spent some serious time in jail with Donald Trump. Prosecutors originally charged 19 people in the sprawling case. So far, 4 have pleaded guilty. Campaign lawyers Sidney Powell and Kenneth Cheeseborough, who helped devise the fake electors plot, have also recently pleaded guilty. Another co-defendant, bail bondsman Scott Hall, he struck a deal with the prosecutor in late September. Meanwhile, the few idiotic attorneys that Trump have left have now filed a suit asking the judge overseeing the election subversion case in Washington, D.C. to dismiss the charge on grounds that, among other things, they violate his First Amendment rights and are the product of a selective and vindictive prosecution. Good luck with that. And the war in Gaza is not easing up as tempers flared at the United Nations yesterday amid ceasefire talks, as aid groups and doctors in Gaza warn that power shortage threatens the lives of vulnerable infants and patients. Aid agencies have been calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, with one saying that at least 2,000 children in Gaza have been killed in the past few weeks as Israel intensified its bombing campaign in the besieged Strip. More than 700 people were killed in Gaza in the previous 24-hour period. Yes, you heard right. Over 700 were killed in 24 hours. That war is still going bad. In Jamaica, there were mixed reactions from residents in St. Mary to news that American Airlines will commence flights from Miami to Ian Fleming's International Airport early next year. The government has been telling residents to prepare themselves for increased economic activity, and some residents appear to be excited as it will bring more jobs to the area. American Airlines has announced new service to Ian Fleming International Airport beginning February 24th. The Jamaica Fire Brigade is expressing concern over what it says is the increased number of motorcycle crashes in the parish of Westmoreland. Since the start of the year, 30 motorcyclists have died in road crashes in Westmoreland, while 108 bikers have been killed in crashes nationally. Deputy Commissioner in charge of fire and rescue operations at the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Kevin Horton, said the majority of crashes the brigade responds to in Westmoreland involve motorcycles. He urged motorcyclists to exercise extreme caution and obey the road code. Meanwhile, homicide detectives are working to establish a motive for the murder of a Canadian man whose bullet-riddled body was found in Salt River in Clarendon yesterday morning. The partially decomposed body of 43-year-old Merrick Ayres was found in bushes about 9:30 a.m. Mr. Ayres, a resident of Paddington Terrace and Canada, arrived on the island on October 14 at the Sangsters International Airport in St. James. He was scheduled to leave on October 30. And investigators theorize that Mr. Ayres was lured to the area in Clarendon where he was robbed and fatally shot, and his rented motorcar was also found at the scene. An investigator said the area is known to be used by criminals to carry out drug activities and acts of violence, and he's the third foreigner killed in the past 3 days. 2 men were shot dead by gunmen in Orangefield District in Linstead in St. Catherine on Monday night. The dead men have been identified as 33-year-old Dayton Dwyer, otherwise called Corey, a watchman at the Orangefield Primary School, and Rachel Ruga Givens, 36, a shopkeeper. And it's reported that about 7:45 p.m., residents heard loud explosions and upon checking, saw the bodies of the now deceased. They summoned the police, who found the 2 men covered in blood with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to their heads and upper bodies. And I'm telling you that this year it's going to be the highest record of murder in the island. Of course, they might not give you the true total, but I'm telling you, there is a record amount of murders in Jamaica taking place this year, outstripping all other years. Onto sports, expressing her concern about the ongoing rift between the senior reggae girls and the Jamaica Football Federation, Minister of Sports Olivia Babsy-Grange said that she is working towards mending the relationship between both parties. None of the players who played for Jamaica at this summer's FIFA Women's World Cup and the Paris Olympic qualifier in September are part of the squad for the upcoming CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup qualifying matches against Panama and Guatemala, having turned down selection to the team in a move they said to end the cycle of mistreatment from the JFF, which includes not being paid in full for their participation at the World Cup and qualifying for the tournament. In response, the JFF suspended the players indefinitely, saying in a statement that it was uncomfortable with the response of the players. Now, I am requesting that the FIFA should suspend the JFF and appoint a board to run football in Jamaica until a new election be called to select new and better people to run football in Jamaica. The current football body needs to go. Meanwhile, the pickup team that GFF selected will be playing Panama today in the Gold Cup qualifier, and I hope they don't embarrass the country again. Former champions Glenmore High and St. Elizabeth Technical Stets as well as BB Coke booked the first three places in the quarterfinals of the DaCosta Cup football competition with wins in their return leg second round games on Tuesday. Oriel Miller and Kyle Gordon scored 2 goals each to lead Glenmore High to a massive 9-0 win over Morant Bay High for a 12-0 aggregate win. Stets meantime beat Irving High 2-0 for a 3-0 aggregate. BB Coke returned to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2019, beating Paul Bogle High 3-0 on Tuesday after taking the first leg 2-0 with goals from Jamal Wright, Seymour Williams, and Taven Morris. And Manning Cup second round will kick off today with 8 games. In the first game, we have Kingston Technical will face Stats, St. Jago and St. George's College will play at Prison Oval, Tivoli will clash with Haile Selassie at Edward Seaga Sports Complex, St. Catherine High and Wolmer's Boys will play at St. Catherine High, Heidel will play Excelsior at Royal Lakes, Eltham will face Jamaica College at Eltham, Campion College will face Kingston College at Jamaica College, while Jonathan Grant will face Mona High at the Prison Oval. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite community radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.